Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do something a little bit different here on my channel that I've been wanting to do for a while now, and it's been on my mind. As you guys saw in the title, obviously this video is going to be a get ready with me, and I'm going to be talking about season 2 of Emily in Paris. So just a disclaimer, there's going to be some spoilers in this video. So if you do not want any spoilers, please close the video. So yeah, I'm just going to do my makeup and let's talk about season 2 of Emily in Paris. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Sylvia. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so I tried to fix my hair, but I am really not liking it today. So just ignore my hair. Okay, I will do a better job next time. And I will list all the products that I used in the description box below. That way I'm not really talking about them here on the camera while I talk about Emily in Paris. So the first season, I liked it. I wasn't like, oh my god, crazy about it or anything like that, but whenever season 2 came out, I definitely did want to see it because I wanted to see what was going to happen. So if you saw season 1, then you know that Gabrielle, which is the chef in the show, ended up staying in Paris. So I really just wanted to see what was going to happen. When I tell you guys, so many things happened in season 2 that I was like really not expecting. I just thought it was really good. Much better than the first season. So I don't want to give too much away. Basically just like the main parts that I just really wanted to talk about from the show. So the first thing I want to say is that season 2 outfits were just fire. So many outfits, just really good, and I think that was probably one of my favorite things from the show as well, just the fashion and just the inspiration of the outfits and all of that. They definitely stepped it up a lot for season 2 on the outfits. My favorite outfit from her was definitely the one that she wore at Saint-Tropez whenever she went to Saint-Tropez. I just love that outfit, black and white, kind of like polka dots, but not polka dots. I don't know what it like. It was just a really cool outfit. There were so many other outfits that I really loved, and I just love all the color that they use from the outfits. Just very colorful. We're so used to seeing like very plain neutral colors like on Instagram and influencers and all of that. So I love that they used color. I loved it. I loved all of it. I was actually pretty shook whenever they had her birthday dinner and the way that her friend Cami found out about Gabrielle. I kind of knew that she was gonna find out. Obviously, like, come on, like, they became so close. Like, she was gonna end up finding out eventually, and I feel like Emily definitely should have told her ahead of time, but of course it wouldn't be a show if there wasn't a little bit of drama in there. She found out by looking at the pan that was in Emily's apartment, and the first time whenever she saw the pan, I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna see that it is Gabrielle's pan. So I was kind of like on the edge of my seat, like what was going to happen, but she didn't find out the first time. Like, she should have found out at the first time she saw that pan. That was like a really plain giveaway. So obviously, like, they show a lot of like the work that Emily does in Paris, which I love that about the show as well, because I don't know, it just kind of gives you an insight on how marketing companies are and like the marketing business, which is really interesting to me. And you can kind of relate, like if you have a boring job, you can kind of relate to the new guy, which we'll talk about as well. Her job just seems a lot more interesting than just like an office job. It kind of makes me like kind of live vicariously through her in a way, and it just makes me wonder, like, is that really how it is? Like, do people really have jobs like this? That it just seems like a really cool job. Obviously every job, like, it's gonna be some things that are stressful, which they do show on the show, and I appreciate that. One of the funniest parts was whenever Cami did not talk to her after finding out that she did sleep with Gabrielle. She wanted Emily to talk to her in French, and Emily was trying to learn French, so she was going to French classes, and that is where she met the new guy. And it was just so funny whenever she was trying to write that letter. I was just cracking up because the show is in Paris. Like, there's so many things that just make me want to go to Paris now from watching the show. Looks so beautiful. Emily was trying to learn French, so she was going to French class, and that is where she meets Alfie. So Alfie is a new guy, and he is very, very cute. Gabrielle is very, very good looking. I can still tell that Emily liked Gabrielle, but obviously, like, she could not date him because of Cami, and she wanted to, you know, get on good terms with her. It is so messy because obviously, like, she is managing Cami, which is her friend, with her job. So that's like another thing to, it's really true where you do not want to involve your personal life with your work life because it can get very messy, and it just, from personal experience, like, I've done that before and it does not have a good outcome ever. Definitely just not a good idea. You want to keep your personal life separate from your business life or your work life. Obviously, like, Emily's situation is a lot more dramatic, but you do not want to be in a situation like that. For sure. Where was I going? Oh yeah, Alfie. So Alfie is the new guy, and I was not expecting a new guy to be in the show. So I'm actually kind of glad that they included a new guy in the show. And so she meets him in the French class. And at first, I actually thought Alfie was kind of annoying. He was very arrogant, and he just talked so bad about Paris, but you can tell, like, he was just not happy, like, with his life, like his job and all of that. But Emily, like, tried to convince him, like, there's so many good things about Paris and all of that. So at first, you can tell, like, she didn't really like him, and he kind of seemed like he really didn't like her at all. Like, he was really, really rude to her. Which, another thing too, like, I don't understand how she ended up liking him, because I would have been like, boy, bye. Like, I don't need your negative energy over here. But I guess because they had to partner and work with each other, I don't know, they kind of like grew to like each other, I guess. But I actually did end up liking him a little bit. I actually don't like him that much for Emily. I really love Gabrielle. Like, I really, really like Gabrielle for Emily. But again, like, I actually kind of don't like Gabrielle either, because he did cheat on his girlfriend with Emily. So he's kind of bad too. That's a red flag for sure. What do you guys think? Are you team Gabrielle or are you team Alfie? If I'm going to choose one of them for Emily, then I would choose Gabrielle. The other guy that she was going to go with to Saint Tropez in the beginning, like, he just heard a conversation with her, like, on the phone, and he literally left her there on the train to go to another place by herself. At least he gave her the hotel for free, but still, like, that guy was a jerk. I'm glad that she did not end up dating that guy, because that was really, really rude what he did. But at the same time, like, I think he was involved with her work as well. So it was a good thing too that she didn't end up talking or dating that guy. I don't know, he looked really, really old. I don't know, like, this season, like, her friend Cami was just getting on my nerves, and I don't know why she wants to be friends, like, so badly with her, because I don't know, just something about her, like, I was really not liking on this season. But I do love Mindy, which she is the singer of the show, and I really like how they showed a little bit more of her story in this season. She started doing gigs and singing, and she met this band, and I really, really like that also about the show, because it wasn't just all about Emily. I like their friendship as well. It's just a really, really cute friendship. Okay, so did you guys catch whenever she went to Saint Tropez, she was working and everybody would tell her that it's illegal? That was just so funny, because it just shows just the culture of here in America. Like, you are always expected to work even on the weekends, and I experienced that too right after college, and I was working and I would work weekends, and it was just like normal to work on the weekends. In Paris, people don't do that. They really value their weekends, and work is only Monday through Friday, and that is it. They definitely highlight that in the show, that they value their work-life balance, which is really, really great. And I wish it was more like that here in the States. And another reason why I am dreading going back to corporate America, because right now I'm not in corporate America. I was for a while, for like 8 years. kind of have to get over it because, of course, like you need money here in the US. Everything's so expensive. It's crazy. Anyways, so it was just so funny. Like she was trying to work and it just like backfired on her. Like, dude. And who the hell would have thought that Sylvie was married and she had a husband? This season, Sylvie really grew on me. And it's so funny that her name is Sylvie because my name is Sylvia. I really like the name Sylvie. I feel like a lot of people probably didn't like her the first season. She seemed kind of like rude and mean and all of that. She was kind of mean to Emily, but I can kind of tell like she started liking Emily this season. I don't know. There's just a lot of things about Sylvie like I actually really, really liked. I just like how strong of a woman she looks and she seems with Emily. Like she wasn't really judging her, which I love to see that on the show, like with Sylvie. So I don't know, I just really ended up liking Sylvie this season. And she met like this photographer that really liked her and like she was living her best life. Sylvie is the shit. I know some people might not think that, but she's pretty cool in my opinion. I like that she's just like a boss bitch. You know what I mean? Anyways, going back to Alfie, I was actually pretty surprised of how quickly they slept together. But I mean, it's Paris. Like, I don't know. Whatever, they're single, like you do whatever they want. And then he like ghosted her and it was so freaking hilarious. Whenever she sent him a million text messages, that was just so funny because I could just picture like other girls doing the same thing. But she actually took his phone and the jacket, and then it made sense why he wasn't like responding to any of her messages. And it was just too funny because he like went to the restaurant of Gabrielle to go look for her, and they ended up, I don't know, like getting along, Gabrielle and Alfie, which was kind of awkward, like definitely very awkward for Emily. And this is why I say, like, you do not want to mess with your business life and your personal life. Gabrielle found out that the jacket was actually Alfie's jacket that morning that he ran into her, and it was awkward. What I really didn't like was Cammy. Shady that she made a pact with Emily saying that they both weren't gonna date Gabrielle. The father was really funny. Like he reminds me a lot of my dad. Like they're just silly and they do like the craziest things. He was just really funny, and like the whole thing whenever he cut his finger, like that was hilarious. The mom was definitely up to something because she invited Gabrielle, but you can tell that Gabrielle also still liked Emily. But obviously he was like trying to be nice to Cammy because of what he did to her. They showed the friend kind of like falling in love with like one of the band guys that plays the guitar. So that was a little bit romantic, but he ended up finding out that her father is rich or that she's rich. So then he like got really mad at her and she was really sad. And I felt really bad for her at that time. Like whenever they made up and she was like singing with him at the restaurant, whenever Alfie confronted Gabrielle. I did not like how he confronted Gabrielle. Emily had already talked to Alfie and let him know nothing was going on with Gabrielle. They were just friends, and he should have just believed Emily at that point. You know, he felt like a jerk whenever Gabrielle told him that he was glad that Emily was with a good guy like him, and then he just shut up. All right, so I did my eyeliner a little bit longer than I wanted to, but that's okay. You know, I've been talking a lot about Cammy, talking crap about her, but I actually don't blame her being really mad at Emily. Like, imagine if some girl did that to you and your boyfriend. Like, I would be really mad and pissed. I wouldn't even try to be friends with the girl at all. I don't care how sorry she is. I know Emily was like really sorry and all that, but I don't care. I would not be friends with the girl again. Let's talk about the new woman in the show, which is her name is Madeline, which I think is Emily's real actual boss in the States. And she's pregnant, so that's the reason why she couldn't go to Paris and Emily went instead. It's just so funny because obviously they portray her as like very American, and she was literally trying to take over the agency that Sylvie was running. And you can tell Sylvie did not like that at all, and they were trying to promote Pelotech or something like that. It was like play on words for Peloton, which is so funny because obviously like Peloton was huge here in America. Peloton is really getting out there with the marketing and all that. I see you, Peloton. Sylvie tried to shut it down, and then that lady Madeline came. She completely like ruined everything in the office. And then she was like super pregnant as well, but it's her job, and it just shows again in America like how serious people take their jobs. Literally was trying to increase the rates, and then found out that the reason the rate was so low was because Sylvie was having an affair. But again, like she could have went a different way about it. Yeah, she was kind of getting on my nerves because of everything that she was trying to do. Emily literally had pretty much, even though a lot of crap had happened with Emily, like a lot of crazy things happened with different accounts that she still kind of had it pretty much under control. And I think they were starting to like Emily in the office, the two guys, and they were getting along with her, and they went to her birthday and all of that. Even Sylvie went to her birthday dinner. I felt like she had a lot of things under control, and then this Madeline lady came and she was starting to change all these things, and then it kind of like started ruining everything in the office. And that usually is what happens with different companies and different offices. Like some person comes in and tries to change a lot of things, and then the morale goes down and people don't want to work there anymore. And I could see that coming as well with Sylvie. Like whenever she contacted her husband, and then the husband came like out of nowhere, and then they showed whenever the husband was signing a paper on the restaurant that they had in Saint Tropez, she was planning to leave the firm or do something because of this Madeline lady. And obviously like it happened whenever she tried to get the new designer to work with them. Emily was just was doing her job, and she secured the new designer. But obviously the other designer that they were working with for a really long time, and they had a really good partnership. Like it's all about partnerships, and they did warn Madeline she shouldn't do it. Like they're rivals, they should not work with the new designer that she wanted to work with. But she didn't listen to them, and even Emily warned her as well. It was pretty much her fault why they lost the designer. And Sylvie was really smart how she went about it. Like she talked to the new designer and she told them that she was going to start her own firm, and they decided to go with her. So they all quit, and then Emily did not know that was going on. I felt bad for her right there that they didn't tell her anything. But once they met up with her for lunch and they told her, they didn't tell her because obviously like she was going to try to fix it. It was just so weird to see the office empty because it just looked really sad. You know, it just didn't look the same. Pretty crazy like how quickly everything could change. And what happened after that, Alfie confronted Emily and told her that his job finished and he had to go back to London. I mean, she already knew that he was going to have to go back to London, and then she was going to go back to the States. But it was at the same time whenever that they offered her a position in Paris with Sylvie's new firm. So I definitely feel like Emily did not see that coming. And it basically would mean that she would have to stay in Paris. The whole reason why she did not pursue Gabrielle or even wanted to get serious with Alfie is because she was going to have to leave. She was going to leave Paris all along. Is she going to stay in Paris? Alfie went back to London. So I'm like, they're going to do long distance. I don't know if that's going to work. Like, that's just not going to work. Long distance does not work most of the time. So whenever she was talking to her friend, she blurted out that she was in love with Gabrielle. I think she was going to tell him that she was in love with him. So right about whenever she was going to tell him everything, and I think she was going to tell him that she was in love with him, Cami is in his apartment and she tells Emily that her and Gabrielle are back together. And you could see Emily's face was like, bitch, because she made the pact as well that she wasn't gonna date Gabrielle as well. Like that was the pact. You could tell Gabrielle was like, holy shit, what the hell is going on? And he loves Emily. At that moment, instantly regretted getting back with Cami. They did not show her decision at the end of the show, so that's gonna be for the next season. It's a show, right? So she's gonna accept the job and stay in Paris. So it's gonna keep going. going. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen with her and Alfie, what's gonna happen with Gabrielle and Cami. Hopefully it's gonna be really, really good and interesting. How it ended, I actually liked. So that is pretty much everything and all of my thoughts on season 2. So let me know in the comment section, what are your thoughts on the second season? Did you watch the first season? Have you even watched the show at all? What did you guys think about this video? I know it's really different. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and getting ready with me. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you really liked it and you want more videos like this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.